Welcome students. I am Divyarani Revankar, Assistant Professor in the Department of Botany of Parvatibai Chogle College of Arts and Science. Welcome to the lecture in Classical Taxonomy and Phylogeny. The paper code is BOC 105. The title of the unit is Morphology of Angiosperm. We will cover the module Fruit Types. Under this, you will study simple, aggregate and multiple fruits. The module number is 25. Outline. You will be introduced to the different types of fruits. Learning outcome. Students will be able to describe the different types of fruits, identify the types of fruits and differentiate between them. What is a fruit? A fruit is a matured and ripened ovary and it is called as a true fruit. Sometimes in epigynous flowers, parts other than the ovary turns out to be a fruit and it is called as a false fruit. The ovary wall converts into pericarp and the ovules convert into seeds. Let's have a look at the parts of the fruit. We have the two parts in the fruit, that is the outer covering and the inner seed. The seed has three things in it: the endosperm, embryo and the seed coat. Then you have the outer pericarp, which is again categorized based on the layers. The inner layer is called as the endocarp, the middle layer is called as the mesocarp and the external layer is called as the exocarp. Based on the development of fruit, there are three main classes of fruits. They are simple fruit, multiple fruit and aggregate fruit. Now let's have a look at this each type in detail. The simple fruit. Simple fruit develops from a flower having a single carpel, that is monocarpellary in nature, or polycarpellary but syncarpous in nature. Such fruits dehisce by a suture or maybe they be indehiscent. The categories under simple fruits are dry simple fruits and fleshy simple fruits. Let's have a look at the first type, that is the dry fruits. Now, dry fruits are dehiscent as well as indehiscent type. Dehiscent means it bursts along the suture to release the seeds, and indehiscent means it does not split open at maturity and they are dry or fleshy. Now the main examples under these dry fruits are in two categories. The first category is dry achenial fruit and the second category is dry capsular fruit. Under achenial, we have the four important ones, that is achene, caryopsis, nut and samara. Under capsular, we have legume, follicle, capsule and siliqua. The first type under dry achenial fruit is a achene. Now achene is a dry indehiscent fruit which has a dry pericarp at maturity. It is single seeded which develops from a monocarpellary pistil with superior ovary. The fruit wall here is free from the seed coat and also it is found in aggregated form. The example here is achene of strawberry. It also comes under aggregated form. Next example is caryopsis. It is similar to a achene, but here the fruit wall is full. Caryopsis, similar to a achene, but here the fruit wall is fused with the seed coat. For example, caryopsis of wheat. The third type is nut. Nut is one-seeded, large fruit which develops from a multicarpellary ovary. We have examples here as lychee and nut of Quercus alba. In nut of lychee, we see that it has a large single seed which has an edible fleshy layer above it, and then you have the hard pericarp, that is the exocarp. Then we have nut of Quercus alba. Again, it has one large seed and a cup shaped at the base of the fruit. The fourth type of fruit is samara. It is a winged achene and the pericarp turns into papery wings. The shape helps in the dispersal of fruits. We have here two examples of Samara. First is Samara of vine maple and second is Samara of combretum species. The next category of dry fruits is dry capsular fruits. The first type is legume. It is also called as a pod. It is a fruit developing like a follicle with a monocarpellary superior ovary and it dehisces along both the ends. The next type is follicle. The fruit develops from monocarpellary ovary and dehisces only along one suture and it is a type of dehiscent fruit. The example here that I have shown you is the follicle of milkweed Asclepias species. The third type under dry capsular fruit is a capsule. The fruit which develops from syncarpous ovary and the dehiscence pattern varies in capsule. The dehiscence can be with the apical pores, basal pores, teeth and also the top portion of the fruit may be cut open and the seeds are spread. The fourth type is siliqua. It develops from a bicarpellary syncarpous superior ovary. Initially it is one chambered but then after the presence of the false septum it turns out to be two chambered. The seeds here are attached to the rim. It is called as the repulum. Next we have the second category of simple fruit, that is fleshy fruits. Here we have the three types, that is berry, drupe and pome. The berry has the entire fruit as fleshy. It has a thin exocarp and the examples here are tomato, cucumber, etc. The second type is drupe. Here it has a thin pericarp, it has a fleshy mesocarp and the endocarp is thick, for example mango and plum. The third type, that is pome, it is developing from the inferior ovary and actually the fruit is developed from the thalamus and cartilaginous pericarp as seen in apple. It is also a form of a false fruit. The next class of fruits is aggregate fruit. Here the ovary turns out into a fruitlet and the combination or the aggregation of fruitlets forms the itario. So we have itario of achene and itario of follicle as an example of the aggregate fruits. The third class is multiple fruits. It involves ovaries of more than one flower, actually the whole inflorescence. It is closely packed, you can also call it as compact. We have two examples here under multiple fruit, that is Psoriasis and Syconus. The Psoriasis is a composite fruit which develops from the whole inflorescence and the floral parts are edible. Example Morus and Artocarpus, mulberry and jackfruit. Syconus is a fruit developing from Hypanthodium inflorescence of figs. There is a collection of achenes inside the fleshy hollow receptacle. These are the pictures showing you Psoriasis and Syconium. So we have come to the end of this lecture where you all have studied the different types of fruits with examples. You can refer to these references for more reading. Thank you.